The Appalachian Basin is home to the Marcellus and Utica shale plays, two of the largest shale gas formations in the world. The Utica alone is estimated to hold around 782 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and about 1,960 million barrels of oil, easily worth tens of billions of dollars and likely a lot more.
It all starts with ethane.
How to keep as much of that money as possible in the region was one of the topics of discussion Thursday at the Shale Insight 2017 conference in Pittsburgh. The event was held by the Marcellus Shale Coalition, the Ohio Oil and Gas Association, and the West Virginia Oil and Natural Gas Association.
We're looking at ways to promote the region holistically, to market the region, to bring in additional investment and development along the lines of the Shell cracker.
Denise Brindley, Senior Energy Advisor for the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, says regional collaboration will be key in attracting future investment, such as Shell's $6 billion ethane cracker now under construction in Beaver County, Pennsylvania.
We want to find ways to maximize the infrastructure across state lines so that it's harmonious and working together with all three states.
The Shell plant will convert ethane into ethylene, a base ingredient in plastics. The plant will create 6,000 construction jobs and about 600 full-time jobs.
What you can't see is all the work that's actually going on underground. So that's been kind of the focus for the last year, is getting the undergrounds in. So underground cooling water piping, sewers. We're starting many of the large foundations. Next year we'll start erecting the major equipment, and suddenly the whole skyline of this site will change dramatically.
As it stands now, a lot of what's extracted from the Utica and Marcellus shale plays is sent to the Gulf Coast for processing. One way to keep the gas here is to attract more end users like Shell's cracker plant. One company, PTT Global Chemical, is considering building a similar plant in Belmont County, Ohio. What the region also lacks and what could make the project more attractive to PTT Global is storage.
That clearly was identified in Pennsylvania's report. It's been identified in other reports as well, saying that if this region wants to grow to support additional ethane crackers like PTT Chemical, that's Global Chemical, that's looking in Ohio, and others that are yet unknown to us that may be looking at this region now, we need to have a way to store ethane in a manner that's similar to the Gulf Coast.
If you look at these numbers, I find this absolutely staggering. In 2007, there were about 10 million sensors in the world out there on things.
Tom Schoenwalder, a principal with Deloitte, says companies in the area will need to embrace technology to remain competitive in the growing industry.
What we're finding is increasingly companies are realizing that there are other ways to be highly innovative in the way they run their operations, their organization. And so what we're now seeing is both technology but other kinds of innovation being driven much more broadly across the organization.
But large companies aren't the only end users for natural gas in the region. Don Keel, executive director of the Cedacod Natural Gas Cooperative, says they're looking for ways to deliver natural gas to consumers in the rural central part of Pennsylvania.
Our goal is to try to fill gaps, geographic gaps where people don't have service, funding gaps where maybe projects haven't happened because of lack of funding. And we'd like to serve as a facilitator to be able to look at finding grant funding or loan funding and help facilitate some of these projects to actually happen and provide an extra piece to the puzzle.